we have the ability for a great person, Zach Newton.
Hello.
Georgetown, New York.
Yes.
You own quite a few manure trucks.
Yes.
Silage trucks.
Yes.
Fleet of guys that work with you.
Correct.
He put together a week ago a 2-hour seminar as far as manure truck safety, silage truck safety, kingpin safety, just things to look out for your guys
in the community, the people that we work for. Because if we see another person that might be on the farm, or somebody on the farm, or if they see one of our employees, at least I was able to get a group of guys together so we can all look out to say, hey, we're working together, we're packing bunk, don't go underneath that silage truck unless your props are out. Or if we're at a farm and somebody's like, hey, my manure truck is plugged, what do I do? We can either call myself, call a fellow crew leader like Tom over here, or somebody can say, hey, let's drain the back of it. First thing we're going to do is drain the back of the truck. So I can open it right now to show them I'm draining it.
You can do whatever. We're gonna. So how this works out is Zach put on 2 hours with everybody live.
Correct.
And we needed some more details.
Yes.
So here we are, one-on-one.
So pretending this manure truck is plugged, might have a little bit of sand in the back, and I think it does because that's why I left it shut. So we open the truck. All right, it's plugged. Oh no, we're plugged. What do we do? Pretending we have more manure coming out of it, tons and tons of gallons.
Yep.
So while that is draining, we realize it's plugged. The first thing that we want to do...
And it can be plugged from foreign material.
Foreign material.
Sand.
Sand, sawdust, my least favorite thing to deal with.
Okay.
My least favorite. So then, the door, grabbing the hammer, obviously. Again, these are not greased. Truck hasn't been washed.
Talked about these hatches.
Correct. So I can show you guys and how to open them really quick and take a few minutes. Pretend this truck is still draining.
Yep.
So this is we brought this manure truck over here so it's in the raw. Obviously, not sprayed, not greased. And for the guys, this is a 5/8 bolt. 5/8 thread, I don't know, 13, I don't know, threads per inch. Put the fucking wing nuts on. Like,
makes life so much better.
If you have a, how many guys have a 15/16 wrench in their manure truck? Minimum.
But hammer
everybody
or a
has
pipe,
hammer. Yeah.
you can get it apart.
Yeah.
So were these factory from Diller?
These are factory from Diller, yes.
They're factory. You can get them from Diller, and add on.
The easiest way to add it, or to get them, I would highly recommend calling Sean over to Diller, or calling Don Brickbell. He's the parts guy at Diller Equipment. They're a couple $100. They're really, really, really cheap. And
they're built like
really well.
That is built very well. So.
And then they're all uniform if you get them from them. Excuse me, if you don't mind, Tom. Let's grab that meter. Hydrogen sulfide and oxygen level tester. So right now we're gonna power it up. So this is a really nice one. We got it from PAI or RKI Instruments. It's something that every dairy, every custom guy, and all your quick response team should have. Just so you guys can see, we're at 20.9% oxygen. It's going to go off at 19.5% oxygen, and that means don't go in. Hydrogen sulfide is actually obviously at 0, if you can see that.
Yep, parts per million.
Yep, at 10 parts per million, don't go in. So now this is the manure tank that we've been hauling with today. The greatest thing is you can obviously see this.
You got a big cord.
8-foot cord, something like that. So now that we have this on, so this is a manure tank. It's been running today. 2 hours ago, it was live in the action. What does it read?
It's still the same.
So this tank was rinsed out with water.
So, based on this tank has oxygen in it.
Correct. So this tank is safe to enter.
But it got rinsed out.
And rinsed out.
It's been sitting
for 3 hours, probably 2.5, 3 hours.
But right there is something that could save your life.
Save your life. They're not cheap, but our lives aren't either.
Lives aren't cheap either.
So this is with it being completely open. So what we did here was, now we check the tank. The tank is clean, and
so tank is good to go as far as entering, but still at this point,
still we're not going to enter it.
Yeah.
So now we know that it's okay to enter it. We open the cover on top, so that's good to go.
Tom, you want to give us some background on you?
On me?
Yeah.
How long have I been here, dude?
September 2018.
Worked in the fire department?
Correct. Past deputy chief. 2 years, second assistant chief for a year. Most of my life before here was devoted to the fire department, but as you and Zach and everybody else knows, we get a little busy.
We know the top is open.
Yep. Got some air going in.
Yep, we got air going in. You open up the back door. Again, this is the ungreased raw.
Right out of the trenches.
Doors open. It's blacker than the ace of spades in there. We can't see nothing. So we're working with usually a couple guys on our team. If there's only one truck spreading, go underneath the fill stand, vomit it out. What's the big deal for 500 gallons of lagoon? So Tom, why don't you take truck 40, dump it into the fill hole, and we'll see if we can flush that stock out, see how many minutes it takes to empty it out. And oh no, we have sand. We're plugged. So now you go over to your service truck, or if this is a rear fill, you can go and grab, whatever you have.
Pull some sand out.
Pull some sand out, and you're back in business, back in the saddle again.
Since it's drained out, it's got air in it.
It's air in it, so we're not going to go in.
But if there was something in it, plugged.
What do we do? Yes, I'll tell you what we do. This is a center fill trailer. Pretend there's a piece of wood in there. Big rock. I don't know. Back on the manure pit. Back up to it on the ramp. Pretend that there's another truck here. Yes, yep. Pretend there's another truck right there. Boom over, and you'll wash it completely right out. Whatever you have, if you can't get it, grab it right over here. And if you go to the back of, which is one of our service trucks right over here. Grab your manure hoe. Oh, I kind of got that one.
And at the end of the day, if all else does not work, taking it back to the shop.
Let it air out for a night. You're going to miss 5 loads of manure. The dairy will be fine. And if you're going to still have a meltdown, don't go work there. Alright, so pretend we pulled out. Pretend that was
Whatever plugged it.
correct. And then, you're good to go. No need to go into the tank. So what we have, if you can see early in the video, we're going to be having this baffle or that man door.
So how many? What's the baffle layout in a
Diller?
semi-truck? Semi-truck.
There's a baffle right here. There used to be trap doors and on dillers. You can order them with or without them. This trailer factory came with it, and we removed it. That is to keep weight on the drives.
During field spreading.
Field spreading, but just take it out because it's going to plug with sand and come loose and it's going to make a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And then where's the next baffle? Right here, there's the baffle. Right here is the unvented location. So what we're doing for this is we're taking another man door just like that. Man doors?
So that's a brand new man door.
Yep.
A couple $100 from Diller.
Yep. We got 5 of them to add to our current trailers right now.
For this exact reason. Cleaning out ventilation.
Yep. Then you don't have to get into the tank. You know, the hardware, like the hardware's in there. I checked earlier. We just got these the other day, and starting tomorrow we're going to be installing these in one tank at a time.
So any old tank, any retrofitted tank that can go on.
As long, I can't speak for aluminum, but There you go. Put some paint on them.
And that gives you enough access to everything, so.
Adding it right here. And with that water tank that we have over there, we have a high pressure hose, and with our step rails that are in the garage that are almost done, climb up on the tank, blast it out. Or if you're in the field and you still can't get it out with that hopper, open the man door, take your fellow, colleagues, nurse boom, dump it right in there, clean it out. And if guys are saying that there's only one truck spreading, what do? Go to the fill stand. Put your fill stand right underneath there. Have the door in the back open, blast it right out. It will come out.
Mm-hmm.
It will come out. Will you leave a little bit of mess? Yes. Will you be safe? Yes. I'd rather have a little bit of mess and be safe. And then the final baffle is right here. So this back 5 feet, you're able to access with the hoe. So you can see that almost goes right to the baffle right here. So it's easy enough, safe enough to keep you safe. And in that other video, we put a rubber sock and a piece of wood in there.
And a rubber sock for those that don't know.
Right here. So here's the sock, 10-inch sock, goes on the top of your Huel, Jamesway, Noon, Dry Hill, anything, fill stand on a manure fill stand.
Manure pump fill stand that actually loads the truck.
A rubber sock is what comes on in that could go in the tank, and you can get that out right with this right here. And in that other video, it took us 15 minutes to get a piece of wood and the sock out with a colleague's manure truck, cleaning it out on the fill hatch. 2 people, nobody got covered in manure.
Mm-hmm. Nobody went in the tank.
Nobody went in the tank. There's no reason to go in the tank. And if you do need to go in the tank, bring it back to the shop. Air the truck out. Sacrifice those 5 loads of manure, 10 loads of manure, whatever you're going to miss. Clean it out that way. Or go to the farm. Get some water. Rinse the tank out. Or pressure wash it out through these holes.
Mm-hmm.
Might take a half an hour.
So access points, key. Make sure you have access points.
And they're opened. Because the access point is great, but the access point is only as good as the use it's intended for.
Which is open in that time.
Yeah. And now, before you reassemble these, I need everybody to make sure that the door gasket is sealed. So this door gasket worn out, so we will replace it. Before we shut this door, we're going to lube these up every single time. It's a $5 can of spray. If you don't have any spray, take an old coffee can. Everybody drinks coffee with a little brush. Brush it on, put the top back on, put the brush right in the oil. Clean as a whistle. Costs you no money. Free.
And next time you're in the field trying to do this,
you're not struggling. You're not getting your hind end beat.
Yep.
You're not getting knuckles busted. And the only tool you need for this to do this safely is a hammer. And yes, that meter is awesome. What happens if you're waiting for the meter to come in? Just at night, stick a fan over there, blow it out, and then the next morning, with all these access holes open, the next morning, maybe you can have somebody go in there and clean it out.
Mm-hmm.
But wash it out with water first. If you do not have one of those detectors, it will get clean in there. But it needs time, it needs fresh air, and it needs to be cleaned. It took 15 minutes to get 2 different pieces of debris out. We tried 2 different ways. We opened up all the manhole doors. And how many people here enjoy getting covered in shit? Nobody. Yeah, this is just 15 minutes. We got 2 pieces of debris out of that old heifer pit that everybody needs pumping out. I highly doubt we even lost the load. I wanted to show you guys that it only takes minutes to do this stuff. And working together with your co-workers. As Tom and I were in the field, these are the things that we're going to discuss. I want to discuss the details here with the girls today. And, we tried and it's not easy, obviously, to retrieve something in a center fill trailer. It's a 30 foot and it's 15 foot up, 15 foot back. Well, it's a 12 foot up, 12 foot back, something like that, whatever it is. So these came a long way. Granted, it might take a little bit more time if you get a full load to spread, but from here right now until the 15 minutes, nobody's life is worth 15 minutes. What I want you to see, talk about, tell your fellow colleagues. Solar equipment in Pennsylvania. A few months ago when we purchased this tank. And I said these man doors need to come factory. I contacted him the other day, and if you guys are purchasing new tanks, man doors are factory on straight trucks. I also want to reach out to a fellow dairyman, colleague, and a customer of ours. We were doing some work over to his facility, and he said, Zach, where'd you get the man doors? I told him, and Pat Frazee went and added man doors on his straight truck. So not only you can have ventilation, you can have ease of access to cleaning out your tanks and making sure everyone's, safe. So I'd like to say that that gentleman right here is Pat Frazee at Frazee Farms, and let's give him a round of applause for looking up and trying to do some safe stuff. As custom guys, we are the gentlemen, ladies, boys, and girls that are being looked up to the dairies and how to retrieve manure. As us custom guys, we got to set an example for your farm. We are not always good. Odds are we suck 50% of the time. It's odds. Either yes or no. Maybe isn't a word. So, I really appreciate Pat for doing that. All he did was have to give me a phone call. Conversation took 2 minutes. I shared him the contacts. He contacted him. Pat, how long did it take you to install that tank on that man door?
Well, Charlie and Gordy did it.
Yeah, half a day. Super
I
nuts.
mean, so
Set the tank on there, drew a circle on the inside, blew it with the torch, welded it inside, outside, put it together, painted it.
excellent. Now,
Took no time at all.
excellent. So let's talk about installing that. There's some things that we need to do. I'll give you what we do. We'll clean before we need to go out with the tanks, we clean them out with water. Thankfully, our friends over to Preble Hill Farms has a water tank. We clean them out with water. This is where we got the water today. We will be adding a 3,000 gallon tank, 4,000 gallon tank here, so we can have water in here. So if we have to do anything, if Griswolds are out of water, it's not their responsibility to keep us safe. We will be having a water tank here. I know a lot of you other guys have water pits also. It's something really good to have. So what was your protocol before getting in there with a torch, welder, grinder?
That one we never got in.
We did it all without getting in.
Yeah.
That is what I wanted to hear. You guys got in it without having to go. You guys did it without having to go into the tank. I'm sure you guys opened the back door so you had some ventilation. A few things that we're going to do. I don't have the pamphlets. We're out of ink. Again, I'm sorry this is short notice. Anyone that's interested in the links, I'd be more than happy to send them to you. Our welder, Lance, he's over there. Him and I did some research and some conversation on getting meters. We will have a meter in every single service truck. Yes, they are very expensive to be bouncing around in a shit truck. That is your call. They're about $1,500 to get a hydrogen sulfide meter. Hydrogen sulfide sucks the air out of oxygen and is fueled by ammonia. I did some of my own research, and I want to reach out and thank David Cox. He's one of our drivers. He did some on his own research to help us bring this together as promptly and as easily as we can for you. The next thing that we are going to do, and it's more than welcome for all your bosses, all your colleagues and stuff to use. We have a machine coming that not only sucks air out of the tank, it will force air into the tank. It has a 13-foot boom and it has a light kit. Depending on how you want to use on the filters, it can empty a straight truck of gases in 3 minutes. You need to keep running it, and that's with the full filter. 110, 2.5 horsepower engine. It can set right on the ground here, and it's got a 13-foot boom with multiple angles, so you can suck it right in the tank in case you guys do have to tank. I'm willing to lend you guys that all the time. If you need to put it into a field, I'm sure all of you guys have welders. You might even have a crane with a service truck. You can lift it, set it right in the back of your service truck, plug it right into the welder in case you have to do something drastic, or bring it back to your shop. That is 2 ways on how to try and get a sock out. Obviously, we couldn't get it through the man door. Let's say if we couldn't get the sock out with that boom in there. Third thing to do, bring the fucking truck home. Is it worth 5 loads of manure? Is anybody's life here worth 5 loads of manure? 8, 2, 1. Bring the truck home, and as all the guys here that are drivers, and say, I don't know what to do with this. Nobody's going to call you a girl. Nobody's going to call you other names that I shouldn't say. Nobody's going to call you these names. Doesn't matter. No matter how tough you are, you can't fight gases that you can't see. Bring it back to the shop. I'm sure everyone here is going to be purchasing hydrogen sulfide meters. Bring it back to the shop and say, I don't know what I'm doing. Those are the 3 things that we can do. If anybody has anything else that they would like to say on some of this procedure that we just did, I do not know everything. I am learning just as much as I am with you gentlemen. Anybody have any ideas on other ideas that we can do to try and retrieve something?
I got one thing. It's more than just manure trucks. It's any manure pit that you go in that's confined space. You might want to have a lifeline on them and a couple of guys that can pull them out. It doesn't matter if it's trucks or whatever. On your farms, if you get down in those pits, I mean, the hydrogen sulfide sets low. It only takes 1 breath and you're done. You're going to fall in a heap.
Excellent. I'm glad you said that. I want to reach out to you guys. We're all breathing perfectly fine right now. Oxygen's up here. Methane's here. Hydrogen sulfide's right here. Denser gas. Heavier gas. Weight goes to the bottom. Where was that stuff in the bottom? I want to take a few minutes. We all know that this is aired out right now. Look at how far I was able to reach in there. Tell me why we got to get in. I want to do something else that we're currently doing. I know that we got 6. I know there's probably 20 dealer trailers in here right now, between all of us, possibly some more. I don't know exactly. I want to go over something with you guys. We have a man door on the front, so you can take a power washer, you can take a water cannon. I'll use the word water instead of some other things you say. Water cannon takes care of your front baffle. Here takes care of the middle. There's a baffle right here. We do not have these here yet. We're learning every day. We will be adding a man door right here, so it can take care of this baffle. We have air access down right here in this back baffle. Every one of our baffles will be available to air. I want to reach out to everybody here. I'm more than willing to give you a phone number on how to get them. I'm more than willing to help you install them if you don't have the means of installing them. And if you don't have the means of purchasing them, let me know. I'll get them shipped to your house. I want to do business with all you guys. Right now, next is we're going to test this truck. I don't know if any of you guys get any center fill trailers, but you have rear hoppers. We have plenty of gentlemen here with straight trucks, so we're going to do this test over again.
Hey, Jack, while you're clapping for everybody, I think we all owe you a great applause for what you stepped up here and do that. I know that everybody's just brokenhearted about what happened, and our hearts go out to the Potter family and the Duty family and the Memory family, but it's great that you're stepping up and doing this and getting ourselves aware, just aware of it. Whether the techniques are right or wrong that we're doing, just be aware of the danger. And I think that's what you've done, and we really appreciate that.
I try my best, and what I want to show you guys is I got a little bit covered in manure here today, manure water, but we're all going to go home to our family. So I appreciate that, guys. It's awesome.
Well, we appreciate you, Zach, for doing this. Thank you.
I want to keep us rolling. I want to show us how we can get this out because I still want to do dump truck locks, body locks, and fifth wheel plates. I'm grab this from Austin. So, okay, let's pretend this. Oh no, it fell in. What do we do? This truck has been drained, but let's pretend it hasn't. Still in the field, we're in the field. Boom, open up the drain. No problem, it's draining manure. And the next thing that we're gonna do is grab the hammer out of the truck. Always have a hammer in the truck. Again, some of this might be slightly repetitive, but I want to make sure everybody knows this is a rear-filled straight truck. Not center, rear-filled. This one's pretty clean too.
And how long ago were these spreading? Did this spread today?
Yeah, this spread got done probably about 4 hours ago. They finished up the dairy.
So it can go from toxic to
Non-toxic.
non-toxic pretty quickly, but you don't know.
You don't know, and that's why we're checking them right now. So what we're doing for our company, for our employee safety, and for our colleagues' safety, every single service truck is going to have one of these meters. And then there's going to be one here in the shop. So right now, we know this one's clean. What I could do is test this. Oxygen is 16.9. CO2 was 8 parts per million. Obviously, I breathe out CO2.
Yeah.
It's still
15 parts per million CO2. Obviously, I breathe out CO2. A dirty manure tank. This has not been opened, not been live spreader. Oh no. We see the hose in there. Whoopsie. In those few short minutes, we were able to retrieve something by not going into the tank. And the best way to retrieve something that is in the tank that has worked for us in the way that we do it is fill the manure tank up with manure. Go into the field and spread it. The impeller will suck the stuff into the back. So, with it being sucked to the rear of the tank,
The second you open that pump, it is there.
it is there. Again, this manure in the back here, she's drained, as you can see, it's ungreased in the field natural. This one's not old by any means. 250 hours. If everyone can come over and see this. No reason you need to be going into the tank. In that was probably about 25 minutes of conversation we had. Talk to your buddy about his girlfriend, talk to him about the beers he had the last weekend, talk to him about all the dates he's gone on. Make up any story you want to, snowmobile, dirt bike, four-wheeler, truck racing.
Zach's favorite, call Santa Claus.
Yeah, call anybody who you want to. I'm not even, well, I got covered in a little bit of manure, but he's close. don't worry about getting it out. If your hydraulic system sucks enough that it can't handle this and you're worried about breaking something, your hydraulic system has bigger problems than what you're dealing with. Suck it right to the back, because as you see, just by dropping it in, I had to reach far. But with your hydraulic system, it sucks it back to the rear. As stated in the earlier video when we did that 8 days ago, you can come right back over here, pull it out, not get covered in manure, and it's out. I didn't go in the tank. And one thing that I would like to show people to make sure that these are properly lubed up is I'm going to run over here to our inventory. Grab a can of Thunderbolt, and the easiest way to lube these up, I know this is very easy and simple, but I'd like to show people this because it's sometimes getting neglected. People usually just spray them right there and right there. It doesn't help. Look at how hard it's still to spin it off. Very hard. So the way that we do it, or try to do it, or I would like to get it done, is take them completely off before you put them back on, and just don't spray the edges. And again, so hopefully you guys can see this, and I'll do the whole back of the impeller housing. So you can see how little time it takes.
To make it so much easier.
Yeah. Take it completely off. And then just do that. Now look at that. So by doing that, taking them off, look how easy it is. And again, this is a manure truck in the raw. Like
That gets used daily.
it's used. Yeah, like this is the stuff you gotta do. You adjust the truck, you grease the brakes, you do all this stuff. Spin these suckers right all the way off. Sometimes the bottom ones aren't as enjoyable as the other ones. And you know, and this stuff goes a long way. You know, keep it on to the last thread maybe. Go in. And then look at how easy this stuff comes
And then
off.
you're good to go. Next time you gotta open it up.
This is all easy, good stuff that everybody's gotta know. I mean, there's 5 of these on here. It's not like I'm asking you to do 200 of them. Like, last week was super hot here in the Northeast, and it might have been this all around the country, depending on where you're viewing from. But like, dude, 5 minutes of heat isn't gonna kill you. A stinky manure tank is going to kill you. So let's all work together. Use a little bit of common knowledge and make sure this stuff is completely right. You can take them completely all the way off. On the higher ones that are like this, they're a little bit easier to get completely all the way off. And like a can of this stuff's like $5. Buy it in a case, don't buy it individually.
You're gonna use it either way.
Yeah, why make 400 trips to the store when you can make one? I know this is super monotonous and it's not as fun a video, but I'm making sure we're doing our part so everybody out there stays safe. Like, sometimes the most important things
Because
are
if
the
you
most silliest things.
if you come across a pump and that won't move, and you don't have a hammer,
What do you do?
and it's a hot day,
Find a rock.
the first thought, oh, I'll just climb in and we'll be okay.
Yeah,
No.
no, do not. Just find the rock, and if you can't find a hammer, go to the dairy. If you can't find a hammer at the dairy, drive to the hardware store. The shit truck's got wheels. Go. Guys, now really quick, now you can see that all these are cleaned up, sprayed up, and now your back of your tank is completely serviced. So one of the nomenclature rules that we've been having when you grease this, and we don't use grease, we use hydraulic oil, do your wing nuts. Takes 5 extra minutes. Put it on your service to do these wing nuts when you clean up your dome.
That's a good thing to know for dillers.
Yeah.
Everybody greases them and then they stick in the winter.
Yeah, or in the summer, or in heavy sand, or like
Anytime.
whenever it feels like making you annoyed. But no, it's a
hydraulic
great
oil.
design. I enjoy it. It's
But you just got to know to put hydraulic oil.
you put hydraulic oil in there, and you're like golden. If you don't have any hydraulic oil, I don't know about. You could use anything that you can put in a little baby porta power. Grease that up, good to go, no problem. Little piece of chain. So this came from a just an idea with everything that's going on. So pretend you take a little piece of chain. Here's your manure sock. Obviously it's bolted to the shop of the tank. That's already bolted to the tank. Reach in, put a 5/16 bolt right through there with a flat washer, like I can show you guys right over here. So I'll use this. Maybe take 16, 18 inches, flat washer, 5/16. Pretend we bolted it through there.
You're saying previously.
Yes, yep. You want a double nutter. Bolt it in just like that. Do the same up here with something like this. Bolt it right up there. Now your sock's not falling in.
If it does fall off,
It's still
it's
gonna
still there.
Yeah, so you can climb right on the top of the manure tank. You could use a ladder. And you could use a 5/16 or 3/8 drill bit on your cordless Milwaukee, Makita, DeWalt, Harbor Freight, Super, Zap, Alibaba special drill bit. And stick it right on there. Good to go. This right here, Tom Washburn's father gave him the idea. And we started doing this at some local dairies. So when we're out and about working on, you go there to check on the manure trucks, grease the manure trucks, check on the guys.
You add that to it.
Just add to it. And before you know it, every single guy that you go to, or every dairyman that's watching this is going to take 10 minutes.
Because the idea is your clamp holds it on, but one day the clamp's going to fail.
It might, yeah.
And it's inside.
Yeah.
So that's a backup. That's like a safety chain on a trailer.
Yeah. Is it going to be the end-all, fix-all, perfect solution? No. Is it going to be a lot better? 100%. So his father gave us this quick idea, non-farmer, and we really appreciate him for giving us this idea, so we can now add these to our customers. Use a good chain, I don't know, 1/4 inch. Good little heavy-duty chain. It's not going to fall in. A little heavier than the dog chain, and away you go.
And it doesn't end up inside.
Yeah, but if it does end up inside, that's what we want you to
Now
do.
we know the
If
steps.
you have a block of wood, do the same thing. It will get plugged in the back. So on a safe precaution that we have on the manure truck, so everybody can know what we're doing, I'd love to share these ideas. We have a pressure relief valve. And we have a gauge, so when we're spreading, it's 2,500 PSI. It'll be right there.
So it's telling you hydraulic pressure of the system.
So when it deadheads, it's going to be right at 2,500 instantly. Okay, we know we're plugged. You turn the PTO on, zing, goes right there. What do we do? And we do that procedure that I just showed you guys.
Yep.
And now you have no question whether you're plugged or not because you look at your gauge. And on the straight trucks for us, they're right in the mirror. Put a couple zip ties, away you go.
I never knew those were there.
On our straight trucks,
Yeah.
we added these ourselves.
Yes, but I never knew that was even a thought.
Yeah, I mean,
So
we've done
makes
it.
a lot of sense.
We used to put these in the cab, but if you ever have this hydraulic hose blowing,
It's
the
a lot of
cab-
pressure.
Well, now you got all 5 gallons of hydraulic oil coming at you while you're driving. So we put them out here because that's how they are on the trailers. On the trailers, they're over our right shoulder, right over there. So when you're looking out the back window.
Okay. It's a good thought.
You know, and that right there helps save you guys. Just, okay, if you got a rain day, hook this up. It's, you know,
A little bit of hose and a gauge.
Yeah, it's simple. Easy going, no problems. And this right here will tell you how your pumps are acting.
Oh, you're spreading.
While you're spreading, while you're using this truck every day.
Yeah.
If this thing starts to go down to 1,000,
You know there's going to be an issue.
Yeah, on a rain, you don't have to fix it in 10 seconds. You don't have to stop. But on a rain day or a day that you have a couple minutes, put it right on. No problem. Away you go, and then you're like, damn, I'm ready to roll. What do you guys for the time? 5 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah. Young guy, 33.
5 minutes and 50 seconds. I put both body props in. I made sure it's tight and secure. And I had to go to the shop and get a wrench. I did not know what size it was, so I grabbed a crescent wrench. Gathered the body up, put the props down, put both of them in, locked them securely. So, if you weren't as agility as I was, under 7 minutes, probably, to put both of those braces in. And now, you know, let's say for instance, Will and I coming in, we're gonna do the drive shaft in between the tandems. Bad U-joint, I don't know. Rear end's fucked, something's jumped. 7 minutes or less. 5 minutes and 34 seconds. It took me to do that. I wanted just to review and pound into everybody's head. Is that worth our lives? No. Dump truck braces, bought these ones through Fry Heavy Duty. I wanted both different types, so you can see one might slide, one might not, I don't know. Okay, so this body came with this style body prop. Alright, so this is one style dump truck brace, and it's actually the other style for the other side. So we'll carry it around over here. So this box has to be up higher for us to get it in.
Yep.
But I'll show you guys right now. So this one goes in there like this. Pretend it's right at the corner of the body. Take a crescent wrench, or I'm using currently my hands because it's just a quick demonstration. You put it on there just like this, slide it to the back of where your body is. You'll have to go up with the prop here a little more, the way the direction of the hoist is, and you put it on just like this. And with tightening these things down right here, you're good to go. The next one, I would like guys to see. It's this double chain design. No tools needed, really none. But
You are dragging some chains around.
yeah. So, for instance, we'll set this one right here. Goes in just like that. One of these chains, you're going to go around the frame, come up to its side, go around the frame for side stability. There is a lock in there, right there. This one right here, either side. Go around your cross member, so it has side to side strength, along with front to back strength. So if the body does come down, here's your pinch point. It will, and then you slide this right in, and then adjust your chains right up. Depending on your hoist, you do have to lift these up. You know, depending on your scissor lift. Nothing is made perfect for the implement. But this right here is the safety that you need. And this stuff's cheap. We got both of these locks. Those we use more than these ones because we recently got these. And it's a great addition to have in your truck shop, service truck, or whenever you're doing any work underneath your body. If your body's up, your prop's down. And if you got to have the body really high up, where the
Those
prop
make a
can't
lot of
reach,
sense.
just put it in, because this prop is not going to save you if this body is 6 feet in the air, 8 feet in the air. And we've had one break. We've had a body prop break. So things do happen. And that's why we have these in here to show you guys. So this stuff happens, and right here in the live is what you need to do to make sure you're safe. And fortunately, with that body prop being broke, we had a lock in the back.
Because that's something people don't think about. You're going to grease the truck, put the body up, just reach right over.
Yeah, reach right over. It takes 2 seconds. Yeah, but it also takes 2 seconds to die. You know, so this is a great addition, even on an older truck like 19, like this. Just because it's an older truck doesn't mean that you don't need to have it. And it's a great addition to have both of these, you know.
Got options.
Yeah, depending on what you like. Yes, this stuff is, these things are $1,300 a set, but again, it falls back to like that meter. It's $1,500 by the time you get it delivered and pay the tax, unless you fill out a tax exempt form in that state. But what are you gonna do?
The cost of a life.
Yeah, just like putting diesel in the tank.
Yep. Where'd you get those from?
So this one came from Cook Brothers Truck Parts in Homer, New York. That one came from Fry Heavy Duty out of Syracuse, New York. And we both do business with those guys on the regular. Talk to them. They might be able to have you save $100, $150. Just talk to them, tell them what you're doing, and maybe they got a sale going on. Maybe you do a lot of business with them. Maybe you can save a little bit of money, but their suggested retail is around $1,300. So one might be a little bit harder to get in. I had some issues with airlines. Let's say Will and I are coworkers. Comes over to give us a hand. So he knows that it's safe when we're doing the tandem. We got to change the rear in this thing. He wants to be safe. You got kids to go home to. You got a mom and dad that you love, cousins, brothers. Just whatever, anything. Took a few short minutes just to do that, and now we know it's safe to get underneath this truck and say, okay, what do we got to do for here? What do we got to do? All right, we're going to change this rear end. We feel confident in ourselves for the day. Because if we don't feel confident in the morning, you ain't going to feel confident by dinner. That's when accidents happen. And I'd like to share a few accidents myself. When I was 23 years old, we're going to review this over here on the truck. It was May 29th, 2013. I thought it was one of the best days of my life because we were running 3 trucks. I thought we were doing it. Hauled 2 loads of scrap to Owego, and I was in the rollback, and we were going to be hiring another employee. I probably got one of the worst phone calls that you can possibly imagine. And the tractor trailer came unhooked, hit a car. I don't even know how to still properly describe it in my brain. And I'm familiar with accidents. We also had an accident December 22nd, 2017 with the drag hose coming out. They had some faulty equipment on it, and it was obviously not working. A couple guys broke a hip, a couple guys broke a leg, one gentleman broke his hand, another gentleman got beat to death from a manure hose. Hardest thing for me was I was here to this hydraulic tank away from it. Everybody was just over by that truck. Shit happens. You need to be always fully aware. The 5 minutes that it takes to do this, I want all you younger gentlemen to realize that we are not indestructible, and even some older gentlemen, some boys and girls that are here. You know, it takes these quick few minutes to check this shit over. I don't want to beat a dead horse on this, but there's two different types of dump props. We did it two different ways. God forbid, I've never had a dump body come down from that height. I have had a dump body come down from that height, and that was 6 weeks ago, or I'm going to say it was 4 weeks ago. Wouldn't you say, Bob? Yeah. So, real short time.
One other thing, I don't know if you did it, and I didn't catch it or what, but when you got this body up in the air, like Zach said, nothing ever goes wrong when you're not using it or it isn't full. If this wagon was full, even half full of silage, when you walk around to check, put these brackets on, definitely check your gate. Make sure that the gate's shut. Don't trust the hydraulics to hold that gate shut. Make sure that it's mechanically locked. For some reason, if that gate was to come open while you're out there, you could be knocked senseless with the gate and buried in silage, and somebody might not even see you. Again, don't work alone, but check everything when you're walking around doing it.
And Voss is very right. And like he just said, I made a mistake. I went around the back. I didn't even slip my mind. I walked around the back. How many more seconds would have been to go around the front? That's a mistake I made right here in front of you guys. I know two people.
But if you see something, say something, like I just did. I saw Zach make a mistake, say something.
Yeah. Voss isn't going to call me, hey, don't be a little fucking bitch and not drive around the back or walk around the back. Voss stood up like an adult, like a man. Everybody here thinks they're tough. A real tough guy is the guy that points shit out. I know two people that got killed from the back door opening in silage bales. The back door was open, went to go look out behind it, dumping a load of bales. Said, is this shit going to come out? That was the last thing he said. It did, when he was right there. So, Voss, I truly appreciate you pointing out the mistake that I just made, and we're handling it like adults and talking to everyone about it.
This is how we all learn.
Yeah, there's no I in team. I always preach that. I'm sure all of our group here look forward to somebody, and our team, ourselves here at New Ag Service, we look forward to our colleagues to help each other out. That's what we got to do. We all got to lead by an example. Everybody can jump up here and see it. I'll angle it both ways. It's a sliding surface. For you guys, I didn't grease this yesterday. I didn't grease it the day before. I didn't do anything. This is how your fifth wheel's got to look. If they're covered in solid rust, make it a point. Talk to your mechanic. Talk to the drivers. Say, hey, grease this thing. Everybody here is using grease equipment. There's always a little bit sometimes in half a tube of grease. Make a certain spot where you can save that little bit of grease, throw it on there. Or just say hell with it and throw it out. I'll pick it out of the garbage. But, and grab a brand new tube of grease. Simpico grease is excellent grease, and it's $6 a tube. Ain't nothing. And, you know, now the one thing is here, who knows where the fifth wheel needs to be locked around? I don't know how many do. If you guys don't have to speak up, that's okay. It needs to be, the jaws of the fifth wheel need to be grabbed around the shank and not the head, so you don't high hook it. When you hook up, you want to see no daylight in between there. And the other thing that I want to talk about is get underneath your trailer. Does it look flat? You know, we don't have to get a ruler out. Everybody's got common eyes. Get right behind you. Look at it. If it looks flat, you know it's safe. If it looks warped, change it. I'm sure everybody here knows a welder that's sufficient enough to do it, or is a welder that's sufficient enough to do it. Is it gonna suck? Yeah. But right now, some of you guys are starting second cutting. Some of you guys are just got done with first cutting. You might have 2 weeks so you could roll again. You could definitely fix this in 2 weeks. I'll fire this up. I'll hook it up so you guys can see where you want the jaws. You guys can go underneath there, some of you younger boys. He's talking about a fifth wheel. If the fifth wheel doesn't latch, throw the fucking thing out. Don't rebuild it. It's cheap. How much are they? Who's bought them around here?
About 12 to 1500 bucks, give or take.
Yeah?
Might be more, might be less, depending on the model.
Yeah, depending on what you get with hardware and whatnot.
Yep.
It's under 1,500 bucks.
Most times in New York State, when you go rip this thing apart, you think you're gonna rebuild it, you flip that thing over, it's rotted out, it's junk. So when you go spend the time and effort in doing such, headaches and such required, better off getting a new one.
Yeah.
Takes less than a half hour to get that installed, done.
Ready to put on the tailgate. If I'm in here working alone, and I gotta get in here, weld on something, repair a chain link somewhere, tailgate comes down, I'm welding, I didn't realize it, how am I getting out? Right as my phone's dead. Everybody's got some steel tubing at the shop. And I wanted to point out something. Drew even said earlier when we were behind on one of the other side of the trucks, what about the tailgate props? This is what we got. Can we build something better? Yes. Will this get us by so we can get out of the truck? Took a couple minutes to do. So, just because we're not out in the field doesn't mean we need to have safety. No, we don't need to have safety in here. This is just important for being out in the field. So I don't want to hold anybody's day up anymore. I hope everybody learned quite a few different things, seeing how we do some things. Maybe you guys can adjust it for your facility. But we got the ball rolling, we got the communication, and we got the interaction with not only local dairies, our local, everybody uses Kansas down here, S&M Partners, right out of Casanova, that's the one that we use. Some guys might be using them in other locations, and some guys might be using other branches. But we got started. We got the communication rolling. Does anybody have any other questions to wrap up the day? Comments, concerns, any other random ideas that you guys like to address? I really appreciate you guys coming out, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy day. It's a beautiful week. It's 9:06. We started at 9:50 or 7:15. Under 2 hours to have a perfect conversation with you guys. All this stuff would take minutes less if you were just 4 or 5 crew men. We do it in 45 minutes. We did a run through crash course the other day at our facility here. It took about 45 minutes. And we had about 45 minutes of just random conversating on other things. One thing that I want to go through is maybe new service trucks. We need to have more first aid kits. But let's get some shovels in there, and let's get some yellow cones. They're fucking cheap. Could save a life. We all have families we want to go to. We all have friends we want to go to. We all have events, hobbies, activities. It's a quick time. I really appreciate all you guys coming out and listening to me talk for 2 hours.
some of you guys drove a little farther than others. So thanks a lot.
Tailgate safety, not only for straight trucks. The video showed it pretty good.
Yeah.
But
The prop is right over here. Great. Like 5/16 pipe. Stick it right in your gate. Put it right on the ground. Maybe throw a little bit of rubber underneath it, and you're good to go.
just a extra thought.
Yeah. Oops. So you don't get trapped inside the tank or inside the body.
Yep. Or have it drop it down on you.
Or have it drop on you. I mean, like, I can crawl out of a body, but how many guys can crawl out of a body?
Yep.
You know, so it's keep that handy nearby, and something as simple as that can save your life. So it's really, really neat.
So everybody thanked you in the video.
Yep.
And everybody was here.
Yep.
I think everybody who's going to watch thanks you. Last time we had you on the channel,
Yep.
you were absolutely awesome.
Yeah, but this time we're more serious, more focused.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to show you what we got and say, like, yeah, this is so cool, blah, blah, blah. All that fun stuff aside, all this stuff is cheap. Whether you have a 21,000 square feet shop or a 210-foot work shed, or if you just have a service truck, you need all these safety quick things.
So if there's any more ideas, drop them in the comments
Yeah.
so we can share them. Who would you like to thank as far as putting all this together? Because it was you, your guys.
Yeah, I want to thank, first off, my mom and dad for knowing that I was MIA Father's Day weekend. The second thing I would like to thank is my employees for all of us grouping together, because the Friday morning before Monday, we had a group meeting in here with our employees, coming together, giving me certain ideas. And then I would like to thank the community for coming in and being a huge participant on, enjoying that fun activity. So,
You got too much ventilation in the shop.
yeah, I really want to thank everybody that showed up, participated.
Because you had,
Probably 90 to 100 people here.
yeah, from the community, from your employees, from
Our
everyone.
employees, our customers, and our customers' employees. And like I said, just because, we all work together, and let's say if this gentleman here is from a different farm, he's still like a coworker. Just because the name isn't on the same paycheck doesn't mean that that guy's a coworker. So you don't have to give him a big fuck off. You got to be like, hey, dude, I'm looking out for you. Because without that dairy, us custom guys are not here. Without us custom guys, those dairies might not be here. So it's like we're second cousins. Look out for your family, look out for your friends, look out for your coworkers. It's not about busting balls. Busting balls is fun. It's not about, if somebody's like a Sally or a girl or a couple other names, if they use this stuff. No. That somebody that's using the safety stuff is somebody to look up to. So hopefully everybody that's viewing and watching this could be like, okay, we're gonna do a couple extra steps. Maybe you're a really good welder. You might be able to make one of those props. Put some chains on it, put a little bit of angle on it. Again, if you have a rain day, you can probably make one.
But at the end of the day, it's the thought of knowing all this stuff
You gotta know about
to make
this stuff.
your way home at the end of the day.
Yeah, we want everyone to go home, and we want everyone to be like looking out for each other. And what we're going to do before corn silage, and we'd love to have Chris, and we'd love to have anybody else in the community, we can't do it for like 50,000 people or 1,000 people. We can't do it for everyone who's viewing. But before corn silage, a week or two before corn silage, we're going to do all this review. We're going to get with a local dairy. They're going to bring up a blade tractor and a chopper, and we're going to talk about some of the safety so it's fresh in everyone's mind before the big push. Because during corn silage, everyone's pushing. Everyone's like, we got to get this done. It's going to rain. The moisture's right. All that stuff is so important to make sure our business is run. But the most important thing, our business is nothing without our employees, our co-workers, our custom guys, the dairies. And one of the things that really I appreciate is that the new former Casanova equipment, S&N Partners, brought down here a service truck, and they were here with it, along with Jason Griffin from Precision Hydrovac. He brought down a vac truck to talk about cleaning up manure spills shortly, and to talk about ventilation in a vac truck that might be a little bit to pertain on a vacuum truck and a manure, sucking up manure. So that was really cool. So I want to thank those two companies for coming out.
And who put the footage together as far as film for you?
The gentleman that was doing the filming was Cade Holmes, right here of Holmes Acre in Woodstock, New York, and I really appreciate it. He's my little buddy. He's a great gentleman, heir to the throne.
And he got us some live footage of that day.
In the action, he sacrificed his morning, his learning, for the greater of you guys. And just so everyone knows, I reviewed with him after, so if he had any questions while filming, I was able to get them properly addressed.
Because you talked quite a bit about the next generation, passing on some of this knowledge.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm 34 right now. I'm approaching, peak performance. You know what I mean? I'm like a C-15 with 150,000 miles, perfect engine to break into be a racetrack. You know what I mean? Like, and then we had some older gentlemen that were there, 50s, 60s, 70s that were at our meeting. They're like, I've been doing this for 50 years. I know what I'm doing. And it's a great refresher for those gentlemen also. And it's a great refresher for guys like ourselves that are all in our 30s.
That go through the rhythm every day.
Yeah, and I mean,
and you miss little stuff.
Agreed.
You got caught and you're caught while training.
Yeah.
Walked right behind the tailgate.
Yeah, and I shouldn't have done that. I know two gentlemen, God rest their soul, that have passed away from that. Bales coming out, and that's a huge thing. Some of these bodies are tapered, ours are not, ours are square. Again, I'm not talking about us, I'm just telling you what we do.
Yep.
If you get a new body, order them square. A taper is great for silage, but how many large dairies today are doing big bales?
And utilizing it for two purposes.
Yeah, 75% of them, 80% of them. Some guys get dry hay drawn in, and got to do that stuff.
Yep.
Got to do that stuff. This is an old dog here, but she still knows her tricks, just like us. And Yanko.
Well, Zach, I think everybody appreciates the safety side of it and everything you've done on that. And there's always a chance for an accident, but having another set of eyes and some knowledge goes a long way.
Yeah, and the greatest thing about this video that we put together for the people that couldn't be there, please share them this link.
Yep.
Maybe if you have a safety meeting with a bunch of guys, it's probably going to be 30 minutes or less.
Yep. Just some knowledge to pass on.
Yeah. Or if you're in the truck and you need something to listen to, then like Sexy Red, play it.
Alrighty. Appreciate it, Zach. Appreciate it.
If you don't know something, call and ask somebody who might know, or try to obtain the information. Don't just jump in.
Yeah, just if you're unsure, make a phone call. And we have some few things that will be on our tanks that are not here yet for decals, so those are getting made. We ordered so many that they ran out of the vinyl stuff.
Okay.
Is we're going to be handing those out to our customers.
As far as some more knowledge. It's like dig safe and all that.
Yeah.
Ask somebody who knows.
Yeah. And the hardest thing about this manure industry is there's not enough knowledge, because everyone's like, go, go, go. And now, like, let's make it, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, whoa, 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 think. Instead of go, 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 whoa.
Yep.
And this is all easy stuff that could be done while you're servicing your truck, while the fill stand's not ready, any of those things. Takes 5 minutes to look on Facebook every morning, takes 5 minutes to grease your wing nuts. Those girls will all be there.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yep, thanks a lot.
Thank you.